You're watching VNTV today, and the show is called Ezo Chit Chat, and our very special guest today is Mabel Katz. You're very welcome here. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
When in a traditional TV program, people hear the word Ho'oponopono, they think that it's going to be something funny, but on VNTV, when our viewers hear the word Ho'oponopono, they pick their heads up immediately because they know that it's going to be something miraculous and something that they've already heard about, but they want to know a lot more about. But for our viewers that have never heard about Ho'oponopono before, could you, in a few sentences, introduce the idea of Ho'oponopono?
Yes, well, Ho'oponopono is a very ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving that says there is nobody out there doing anything to us, but that we are 100% responsible, and that if anything is not working in our life, we can change it. The only thing funny or weird that has Ho'oponopono is the name, because it's very, very simple technique. It works for everybody, very effective and magical.
Since we know that there are no coincidences in life, I'm very interested to hear about how you met Ho'oponopono, in which segment of your life you encountered Ho'oponopono, and why you believe it was necessary for you to meet it at that time.
That's a funny question. Nobody asked me that before. In what stage of my life? But somebody called it midlife crisis. And I said, if this is crisis, I love it. I'm enjoying it. I started my search because I was a very angry and unhappy person. And my oldest son, talked to me one day the way I used to talk to him, with so much anger and resentment. And that day, I always say, he woke me up, and I started my search. I told myself, Mabel, you have to do something. So I started my search, and I did a lot of things like everybody, but I noticed a lot of drama. People engage with stories that their mother did this to them, that the father, and I kept thinking there has to be an easier and faster way. There has to be an easier and faster way, and I found it in Ho'oponopono.
I'm drinking your words because everything you've said so far could be describing anybody's life, because as we know, we always see our own reflections in our environments, in the outside world, and so when we see what we believe we are like on somebody else, that's always a wake-up call for us. And when you mentioned your child, it made me think of the inner child that you talk about. And could you tell me just a few words about what the inner child means in Ho'oponopono?
Sure. Well, the inner child is our subconscious mind, where everything happens. You know, we think that the problem is at the physical level, we treat the physical, but really, if we want to heal, if we want to resolve a problem, we really have to work with the subconscious mind. And it's this child in us that, for example, runs our bodies, that does the breathing without us even thinking about it. Is this inner child in us also that can do the Ho'oponopono cleaning, as we call it, for us, in automatic.
In Ho'oponopono, as I understood, with the repetition of a few very simple sentences, which we can call mantras, we can get to the inner child. Could you say a few words about that? What do you mean with using simple sentences to reach your inner child?
Well, let's explain a little bit about Ho'oponopono. Basically, we say that in life you have two choices. Either you resist problems, you know, something happens and you resist it, you talk about it, you want to be right, you know, you want to convince people, or you can let go. And when you let go, the problem cannot do anything, okay? It's like you need to. So in Ho'oponopono, we use very simple techniques. We have many ways of doing it, but the ones that everybody knows is the famous thank you or I love you. So basically, when something comes out, if I say thank you or I love you, I'm letting go so that the problem can be resolved. Yes? Otherwise, I create more problems. Now, the more I do this, the more I do the thank you and the I love you, the more that I let go, the inner child will do it for me when I forget to do it. Because the inner child observes us the same as our children, our biological children. So if the inner child sees that we are committed, that we are willing, to let go, the child will do it for us. It will do what we call the cleaning, the letting go. Now, when you let go, basically you are giving control, or you are allowing a part of you that knows better, a part of you that has the solutions to your problems, to take care of them. Otherwise, when you resist, it's like the intellect, the stories, the opinion, the judgments trying to resolve that.
Suddenly, the picture of old ladies going to church and repeating prayers like, I love you, God, forgive me, God, came to mind. And you often see these ladies saying their prayers in church and then leaving church and recognizing that maybe while they were in the church, someone had moved their bicycles, and then they start cursing, and the entire sacredness and forgivingness of the whole church experience is blown away immediately. And so my question relating to what you said is it important that the Ho'oponopono mantras or sentences are said by someone with a conscious mind, or anyone, maybe even a criminal, can say these prayers, and then two completely different energy sets meet, and will it still work for them? And if it will, how is it possible?
Okay, great question. First, I have to tell you, I do the best I can myself. Yes? So I try to say I love you and thank you as much as I can. And sometimes I react also as other people, I cannot help it. So I have a couple of things to tell you. Ho'oponopono is not about asking for certain things in particular, yes? And sometimes when we go to church, we ask for things. No, please help me with this, please bring me this, please take away this. In Ho'oponopono, when I say thank you and I love you, is I'm really giving my problems to God. That is the only one that can resolve them. That is the only one that has the answers, or that knows what is right for me. And maybe, that they took the bicycles away, maybe it was perfect. It was really an opportunity that if I really say thank you and I love you, maybe 2 bicycles will come, or a car will come, because I let go instead of resisting. I would like to also clear what really we are doing when we are saying thank you or I love you in Ho'oponopono. When I say thank you and I say I love you, I'm actually taking 100% responsibility and saying I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that they took the bicycles. Okay? So what is it in me? What is the program playing in me that this is happening, instead of blaming? Yes? Again, we do the best we can, but nothing happens for an accident. Yes? The universe is perfect. So if I can observe and be present and not engage, I might be able to see that really that was a blessing, instead of, oh, I have bad luck, they took my bicycle. Could I say one more thing? So Ho'oponopono says we are here to make amends, to repair. That's the purpose of coming back, yes? We chose to come to make amends. So if somebody takes the bicycle from me, it could be a way of paying a debt. Yes, an old debt that I don't remember I had. It could be, it's a possibility of closing a doors that others can open, like a new car. I don't know.
I think that what you just said was a huge lesson for our spiritual egos to learn from, because when we think of God, we often believe that a God will be more ready to answer the problems or the prayers of people who are good than prayers coming from criminals, for example. And what you just said, I think, will remind our spiritual egos that everyone is the same.
Yes.
And this led me to another question that I would like you to answer, which is the notion of God in Ho'oponopono. Who is God? What kind of energy or person is God in Ho'oponopono?
Yeah, first of all, God is somebody that doesn't discriminate like we do. Yes, this is a criminal, this is a good person, this is, you know. So God is somebody that loves us no matter what we do, that gave us free choice. So it's going to bring us the opportunities that are perfect for us, yes, because they will give us an opportunity to repair and to amend. But now we have free choice. It says you can do it your way, or you can come to me. Yes, I can help you, and we still are trying to do it on our own. We still think we know. We still think we are going to stop the world. You know, intellects cannot do that. Only God can. So Ho'oponopono is a way of giving permission to God to solve the world, to solve my financial problems, my health problems. So God is a part of us, something that is closer than our own breath, and that knows us, like I said, better than anybody, and can resolve all our problems if we give it permission. So Ho'oponopono is a way of giving permission to God to help us, to guide us, to protect us. Now, I have to tell you, I didn't believe in God before. Okay, I always tell people Ho'oponopono works even if you don't believe. But I know if you start practicing, you will start believing, like I did. And I found it inside. I found it as a part of me, again, that knows better and that can act every time I give it permission. Every time that I'm not thinking, I'm giving permission, and every time I'm not engaging with the emotions, I'm giving permission.
Dear viewers, we've been talking to Mabel Katz about Ho'oponopono, and I believe that even if the only thing you take away from this conversation is that there are answers to problems that you believe are unsolvable, and that you can always ask for God's help in order to solve your problems, then you've already gained a lot. And my question would be, when and how can people interested in Ho'oponopono learn about this in Hungary?
Well, we have a representative here that is Clara. I'm hoping that we can give her contact information. Yes, Clara has let go of all her work and everything to really do this, and to be able to spread the Ho'oponopono here in Hungary. Hungarians have responded very well to this, like everybody else, because as I travel the world, it's like everybody is looking for more peace or more happiness. And yes, I let go of a very profitable career as an accountant to travel the world and do this, because I feel I found this and I have to share it with Hungarians, and I have to share it with everybody else. My website is mabelkatz.com or theeasiestway.com, and we have the books here all my books are here translated in Hungarian, and they can get it through Clara too. And we have a lot of information now in translated or with subtitles, even with my teacher, Dr. Ihalia Kalakiulen. We have now a webinar with subtitles in Hungarian, so if they are interested, they will find us.
This was only some pieces of useful information while I was cooking up a question to ask you, which is that seemingly the world we live in is becoming better and more glittery by the day, but nevertheless there are more and more people who lose their faith in God, who commit suicide every day, and I would like to ask you what you believe would be the most important thing for people to realize and to learn and to practice every day in order to try to break out of this vicious cycle, and also what you believe the reason is for people becoming detached from nature and from God and becoming blind by all the technology around us.
We don't know who we are. We are lost, and we are looking in the wrong places. I was looking in the wrong places. I thought happiness was in the material things. When I had the house, the car, you know, and everything that we learned, I thought, oh, then I'll be happy. And then I had everything, and I was very unhappy. So I realized that's not where happiness is. The secret that I found, is that we all have the power to change our life without depending on anybody or anything outside of ourselves. So stop complaining, stop blaming. There is nobody out there doing anything, and start working in yourself. You have to be willing to look at yourself. You have to be willing to accept yourself just the way you are, because we are perfect the way we are. Start looking at what we have and not what we think we lack. I mean, all the answers are in the spiritual. All the answers could be Ho'oponopono, maybe something else, but all the answers are in the spiritual. And stop looking in other places. It's looking inside and believing in yourself, and then you'll start believing. You'll start having faith. I would like to share with you, when I was in Japan with my teacher, somebody asked me why, when I did business seminars, I didn't call it Ho'oponopono, or I didn't say that it was spiritual. And my answer was, in the United States, nobody would hire me for a business training if I tell them it's spiritual. And this was her response. He says, in Japan, we wouldn't hire you unless we know it has a spiritual component. Because in Japan, we know that the spirituality is the foundation of any successful business. So I think spirituality is the foundation of any successful life, yes? Any successful relationship, family, community. Very important, very important. And spirituality is not religion. Okay, we got confused there. Spirituality is who we really are. We come from spirit.
Well, I believe in today's society, what spirituality means is experiencing love without conditions. And what you said actually reminded me of something related to religion. More precisely is that in the ancient Christian societies, Christians were actually sought after and chased by Nero's people and were fed to the lions, because a lot of people were actually scared that Christianity would spread in the world. And I believe we are experiencing the same thing in relation to spirituality today. And a lot of people are scared that if spirituality is going to spread, then the power given to the god of money is going to be lost. And this is also what I'm actually seeing when people living their poor lives come to the city, and instead of trying to go back to their lives and striving to go back and make a living there, they tend to stay in the city and are blinded by all the glitters and the technology and the money. And this is how I believe spirituality is becoming lost, because what I see is that only conscious-minded people can thrive in today's society.
When I became spiritual, because I didn't believe in any of this, when I became a spiritual, I started having financial problems. There was like a short circuit there, no? Oh, if I'm a spiritual, I cannot have money. And then I told myself, I became spiritual, but I'm not stupid. I still like material things. I still enjoy it. I always love money since I was a little kid. So I still live a very good life. It doesn't have, God is in the money too. God is in the technology too, but as always, He's not abusing money, yes? He's not abusing technology. Maybe not city life is for everybody. Maybe it's how to be at the right place at the right time, yes, with the right people. So you have to be open and flexible. That's what I learned to do. I don't have goals. I'm not saying this year I'm going to make this much money. I don't know what I'm going to make. I allow God to say how much money I'm going to make. Or how much. What I really realized is that I didn't need as much as I thought I did. Yes, before it was like the least, yes, because I thought, when I will have that, then I'll be happy. No, now I know that I can be happy, and then the money comes, and the technology, and everything that I need. So balance is very important in everything you do, yes? So you cannot be here and be totally spiritual. You know, we are here, we have business to run, we have things to do, we have bills to pay. So you adapt, but again, if you put spirituality first, if you come more from inspiration, that the programs and the stories that tell you what is right, what you should do, you know, and things like that. If you come more from inspiration, you will end up at the right place at the right time with the right people. Osho said, if you see a snake, you jump or you think. By the time that you think how to jump it bites you, yes? So that's what I call coming from inspiration. When you do things without thinking, when you don't go for what is right or what is wrong or what you should do, you just do things because they feel good, they feel right. Maybe they are not right, maybe they are illogical, but it feels good, that's inspiration, you go and do it. You trust.
I believe that intuition is probably one of the most important things in lives. Great changes and inventions have always been brought about by intuition, and there's a Hungarian saying that using spirituality is not a problem, abusing spirituality is what makes a problem. And I believe that I know very well the value of money and how we can create things with money. This is how this studio was brought about. Of course, we used money and funds in order to set this studio up, and I believe that the question that we have to ask ourselves is what to do with money. Are we going to use the money that we make in order to do some good, like we believe we are doing with this studio by spreading the good word to our viewers, or are we going to use money only to make more money and then in the end giving all the power to money, which I believe is going to destroy the world? And everything that you've said so far makes me believe that I found a wonderful companion to share the ideology that we have and we follow here in Hungary in this studio.
Thank you very much. Actually, I found your questions very interesting. I have a lot of interviews, but your questions are very interesting and allow me to share other kind of information. Regarding what you said about money, is again the programs. We were taught that we had to work for the money, yes, or that money is hard to get, or that you cannot do what you love and make money. Yes, no, you have to do something. The job is something you don't like, but you have to. So now we need to reprogram ourselves. It's not about working for the money. It's doing what I love, and then when I do what I love, or when I do something that I serve or help, the money always comes, the resources always comes. But it is a reprogramming. It's let go of what we learn about money. Yes, and yes, we need it in order to help, to make a difference in the world. I need the money. Yes, nothing wrong with it. Now, what we need always comes, and it comes when we need it, not when we think we need it. Yes. And the other thing is, not everybody came to be rich. but nobody came to suffer. Nobody came not to have what they need. But we are always looking what the other one has. And we are always putting, no, we think it's never enough. No, we need more.
Rengeteg kérdést készítettek a számomra a Ho'oponoponoval kapcsolatosan, ezért őrizgettem ezt a fehér papírt.
I've been given a lot of questions to ask you about Ho'oponopono, but for me it was more important to get to know the person who's come here to Hungary to talk about Ho'oponopono, because if I get to know the person, then I will see how credible what they say are, and then that will give me an idea of how credible the technique, the method will be. And now, after having talked to you, Mabel, I can fully recommend for anyone to go and learn about this technique, and thank you very much for bringing it to Hungary for the third time now.
Thank you very much.
And now the final question, the extra question. It is a tradition here that at the end of the interview we ask our interviewees to share a message with the Hungarian people. You've looked at us as an outsider during your several visits to Hungary. What would your message be to the Hungarian people? Is there something that we would need to change in our mentality, in our attitude?
Oh, listen, as I travel the world, I just confirm we are all family. We are all going through the same challenges and looking for the same things, peace, freedom, and happiness. What I would say is be open, be open that life could be easy. Be open to say, I don't know, to become a child again, yes, and humble, realizing that even if we have university titles, we don't know anything. And if you are willing to really let go and see what happens in your life, you will be surprised. You will become a believer. So it is about, again, just be happy. Do what you love. Put yourself first. That's not being selfish. Yes, we learned that. But if we are not okay, nobody will. So when I'm at peace, everybody will be at peace. All you have to do is that. Be happy and at peace. Do what you love, trust, believe in yourself.
Everything that you've said, all your answers have actually led me back to the very one idea of unity. And because even when I asked you to look at the Hungarians from the outside, your answer came from the inside, as you were a member of the Hungarian family. And thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for bringing Ho'oponopono here. I hope that many people will participate in the lecture and the seminar. I will be there myself.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Köszönöm, és köszönöm a lehetőséget.
Kedves nézőink, Önök a VNTV-t látták, ezen belül is a ezotereferét. A korábbi adásainkat a www.vntv.hu weboldalon megtalálják, illetve a YouTube-on vannak a megosztásaink. Viszontlátásra.
Thank you. Thank you.